Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you a video about the unboxing review about AirRaid. This is a Transformers that go to form with other four in the combiner gestalt Superion that I always load. It's since I was a child, and when I was a child I had the two legs and arms. Of them I still have my AirRaid G1, so I still here, and I showed them later with this as comparison, and really I load, but I never finished, so I wanted to have one. Sincerely, I had seen other trademarks, but never satisfied, and also this, it's not something that I'm completely satisfied. I would have preferred to have something core similar to the Vulcanicus, much better in my opinion. Still, I'm really quite happy to be able to have one, so I decided, okay, it's not the best, but it's something that I appreciate, so let's go. So talk about the box itself. Okay, here we have this image that sincerely I found it amazing. You can find that finally I come back to have plastic here, so it's not anymore hold and so not anymore dust inside. Quite interesting. On this side we can find the 13 primes, because technically if you combine different of such ones you can form and see all the ones. I'm quite curious to see if combining all these ones you can have at the end all the saga, because there are 5 of this robot. Here we can find so the robot and the alternate mode, so it's really quite interesting, and as you can see it's really normal one, but not bad. It's as I said a combiner of 1 of 5, so okay. And also here something that it's interesting. Sincerely this box I would like to keep, but if you want to dismantle eventually you can keep the images, because they could be nice. So let's open this and try, because I'm really quite excited. So here are the instruction and the guarantee as usual, and we see here that it's really quite interesting. I always suggest you to go to see about this. The transformation here it's quite simple, but at the same time it's better to notice, and it could be useful also about the gestalt fashion. So it's really quite really simple, as you can see. Okay, and we can see that this is the leg. Okay, and you understand why I say that I'm not so convinced about this, because technically we have the center part that in the future I'll buy, that it's made that with adding this part behind make a sort of menazole, so that it closes the panels here. It's not my best in my opinion as option, but still it's something that you have to notice. So okay, and then we have the model and the accessories to see. I also lost this paper with the Autobot card. I hope that in the future we release also the destruction one. Here we had the 2 weapons. Usually in the original one they had only 1 weapon, okay, but nice. And here the 2 wings that are in the upper part that are going to be put, because you can use eventually as weapon themselves, so it's an option. So let's see about the model. Okay, as usual this background could be used to represent and to keep, so it's quite nice, so moreover because you can close the panels, so it's not bad in my opinion eventually to put in the background, so it's an option eventually. So let's see about the robot itself. Here, okay, as I said, you can have this as weaponry eventually, or you can use the pistols, so it's not bad. Eventually these ones goes back here, so I can add without any problem. So let's see about the model itself. I don't like this because sincerely, moreover because they could have closed, because this can be only put like this. Okay, not the best. And it's really quite full. Here we have this that can be opened and seen the way to level here, so okay. It's not bad if you think it has not so many who's about the model other than the arms themselves. So it's quite good in that way, and it has really quite a good positioning, because you can see you can really flip as you want the part about the feet, the legs, so it's really not bad. Also here we have quite an interesting part, because we can rotate, we can move, so it's quite intriguing. About the head we can move, so nice. Also up here even smaller or bigger like this, so it's really quite a good option in my opinion. It has quite a lot of interesting part. Under here you have the holes where you can put the weaponry, so okay, here it's really quite nice, and it's interesting thinking that you can compare with the original one. So it's a leg of, yeah, okay, it's really a leg of a leg. Eventually there is also another configuration that you can play, because if you see in the old model there is this part that you can see that it has this wing here and this part. If you take the here model, we can see these parts, so we can take these ones that are the back wings, take them off and put them behind like this. So it's really a silly option, but it could be quite intriguing to recreate really the same aspect that we can find about this one. So as you can see, it has the back here, and so it's intriguing part. So it's like having a recalling perfect about the two models. So it's fun in some way. It's an additional thing that could be added to the fashion about this model. So this AirRaid, it's fantastic in the robot version. Sincerely, I quite appreciate in the robot mode. In the robot mode, it's really quite intriguing, quite nice, because, okay, here, really quite beautiful. Also here you can close. Remember that here you should add these one things, so that you can put this up, and you can rotate then in the transformation. So it's really quite nice. It's much better than the original one in the robot version, so you can see that improved. What I don't like, and we see it's the aerial version, but now let's transform and roll out. So let's analyze the alternative mode. That from the upper part, it's not bad at all. We can compare here with the old one, and okay, it's not bad if you think. But when you go aside, you see the problems that it's this part here, because you had these arms that essentially could have been put inside. You could have created the space and so on, change the way, and also these ones that it's the feet that are in such way, really you could make that it could be put inside or something that you could hide. Okay, that technically you can make that you can have a particular pose, so that you can here take up and put in a sort of macros way, so that you can have such standing. It's an option, okay, but it's not the best. Okay, I like also the part here, because eventually you can take off the weapon here and put here. You can create something else. It's some things that you can do eventually. So pay attention about options. I don't like such big holes here, because even if you take out the previous ones, you had at least here this piece that it was to come down. Here instead there isn't such thing, so you could have hidden better the head at least. It's really a pity, because it would have much more potential in my opinion to have, because the upper part is fantastic. If you see from the upper, wow, not bad. See from the side, if you see from the bottom, not great at all. It's something missing, this one, and it's my favorite of the Superion model, so it's a bit of pity about this in my opinion. Moreover, if you detach this, okay, you can see what happened. Still, it's not bad, but better to have this or in the Superion form or in the robot version, or put in the way that you can see only from up, so in some way inclinated and so on, so that you can see the disaster under it. It's a bit of pity, because it has really I love such model as wise. Another thing technically here that you can see, there is these turbo motors that were almost the same here, but they were closed. Okay, here you can add some flames on, something like this that you could make like the burst and so on, but I don't have them, so okay. Still, it's an option. Okay, sincerely I'm waiting for the others, because I really want to create my Superion. Still, I love such model, even if it's this disaster, and I hope that in the future there will be another Superion, so I have excuse to have two of the Superion. Okay, I'm really debugging, but I love anyway this model. Okay, what do you think about? Because I'm quite curious. Anyway, write in the comment. I love, but I hate this interpretation, but I still love. And here we can make a comparison with this Rock Lord, so that we can have different options available, and we can see that the size is quite compatible, so it's not bad. And we can see in the alternative mode robot, so we can find that it's really quite nice, and they are almost the same size, so not bad at all. I quite like these models really, so some flying models for me. And so here we have a comparison of AirRaid here with my Volcanicus score. And essentially it's funny, because you have to think that here AirRaid in all its height, it's almost high as my core Volcanicus. So quite fun about this. So we have my recent complete gestalt, or technically not the first, because in the past when I was a child I had all Devastator. And so here they come to soon be the Superion. That remember that this is technically only the leg, so think about how much it will be the difference in size. Still, it's funny to see them together, so okay. But how can we make this model the insert for the legs of Superion? Okay, simply we put this back, we move the head like this, we move this, and we make like this, so that we can have this option keeping the head in position. Then we put the leg together and we make the half transformation, so we can make this like this, so we transform in half the wind of the airplane, so like this, and so we gain this conversion without any problem. Eventually we have also another option that we can see about this part of the capsule here, so that we can move, if the Superion move the legs, so that we can have the knee, so we can change this, we can take this back like this, and so we have again a better cubic part, so it's an option that could be useful eventually. Not the best, maybe it's a sort of little cube, but it's like it's done. Sincerely, I would have preferred something else completely as an option, because it's a bit of pity to have like this. I would have preferred this to be like in the Gen 1, so that we had this combined like this, but at least it was something that it was exposed in some way, not like this that you have on the back. On the front it have, okay, we see when we have the center part of Superion to combined, but still it's a bit of pity, because it has really not good potential. This it's really a cube. Okay, simply a pity a bit. So what to say about such robot? Sincerely, I love it. Okay, I'm quite crazy about the alternative mode, because you could have done much better job, in my opinion, much better. Still, it's one that I perfectly love, because the one that it's Superion. So okay, I can understand it, but I would have preferred some more detail about such things, because sincerely it's a mess about, and it's a bit of pity. And okay, it's one of those things that you could say that it could have really done a bit better. So okay, sincerely, something that we have to see at the end, because it's a really great options to talk. But I love and hate this model. So deynonmod is everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.